All right, so this is it, our final stop on this journey through China's four great grottos. And we've saved one of the most mysterious and maybe the most moving for last. We're heading to Maijishan, the mountain that smiles.
Just look at this place. This is Maijishan. And yeah, that name literally means wheat stack mountain. You can kind of see why, right? It's the single solitary peak that just gets swallowed up by the mist. They even have a name for it, the Maiji Misty Rain. I mean, it seriously looks like something straight out of a legend, a sacred kingdom just floating in the sky. So that brings up the big question, doesn't it? Why on earth would you build a sacred kingdom on a sheer cliff face? I mean, think about the effort. Carving hundreds of caves, hundreds of feet up in the air. It's just mind-boggling. Well, the answer, it really comes down to that old real estate mantra. Location, location, location. You see, the key to this whole mystery is where it is. Maijishan wasn't just some remote, isolated mountain. No way. It was sitting right on a critical hub of the ancient Silk Road, which was basically the superhighway of trade and culture for the ancient world. Seriously, try to picture it. This place would have been buzzing with activity. It was the connector between Chang'an, ancient China's capital, the massive western regions, and the southern kingdoms. So this wasn't some sleepy little spot in the mountains. It was a true melting pot. You'd have merchants, monks, soldiers, artists, all passing through, all from different corners of Asia. And you can see this incredible cultural mashup right there in the art. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got a mural of a noblewoman's carriage, and her crew is wearing this mix of local Han and Central Asian fashion. Then, in another mural, you have a Buddhist paradise that also includes gods from native Chinese mythology. It's like a visual conversation happening right on the walls. Okay, and this statue right here, this is the perfect example of that synthesis. It pulls together artistic ideas from thousands of miles away. See that graceful S-curved pose? That's a classic style that came all the way from India. But the face, that calm, rounded face and those gentle features, that is pure Eastern Han style. So this isn't just a statue, it's the entire Silk Road carved right into stone.
So, okay, we've got the why. But the how? Well, that's a whole other story. It's a story about unbelievable faith, and frankly, even more unbelievable engineering.
I mean, just try to wrap your head around the sheer audacity of this project. For centuries, you had artisans hanging from ropes or balancing on these shaky-looking scaffolds, carving nearly 200 caves into the soft sandstone cliff. In Buddhism, carving into the rock like this was a huge act of devotion, creating an eternal sanctuary. What they ended up with is this incredible honeycomb of caves, all connected by these dizzying wooden walkways. It's an architectural marvel, really, and it was all born from this deep, profound devotion.
And the result of all that work? A place so packed with art that it's often called the Oriental Sculpture Museum. We're talking thousands of absolutely exquisite sculptures. But what really makes the art here so special isn't just how much of it there is. It's the feeling you get from it. This really unique emotional quality. All right, let's head inside the caves because that's where we're going to find the real heart of this place. It's all about a very specific artistic style, a kind of gentle human feeling that people now call the Eastern smile. So what you're looking at here is a replica of one of the very first caves. And just look at the figures. Unlike some of the powerful, kind of intimidating gods you might see elsewhere, these figures, they feel serene, gentle, almost approachable. See how the Buddha's eyebrows are lowered and he has this faint, subtle smile? It's like he's looking down at you with this real sense of calm and kindness. And this scene, wow. This scene perfectly captures that emotional core of Maijishan. This is probably its most famous sculpture group, from Cave 133. What it's showing is the moment the Buddha, after reaching enlightenment, comes back to his old home and meets his son Rahula for the very first time. Okay, so the whole story is right here, in this single gesture. The Buddha is this divine, all-knowing being, right? But in this one moment, he's also just a father. His hand is reaching out to touch his son, but it stops. It just hesitates, frozen in midair. The artist managed to capture this incredibly complex human moment, a mix of love, compassion, maybe even a little bit of regret, and they froze it in stone for eternity. And that right there is the essence of Maijishan. It's art where the gods have human feelings. They aren't distant or scary.
They're filled with the warmth and the messiness of real human emotions. And that's what makes them so powerful and so relatable, even after 1,600 years. This focus on the human experience also shows up in their storytelling. Take a look at this, the Buddha's life story stele. You can think of it like an ancient graphic novel, literally carved in stone. The whole story of the Buddha's life is told in these incredibly detailed panels. So the whole story just unfolds right across the stone. First, you have the prophecy of his birth, with the elephant entering his mother's dream. Then, his amazing birth. Then we see him leaving the palace, going through years of hard practice, and finally, enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The story wraps up with his very first sermon. It's a whole biography, a whole spiritual journey, all carved onto one slab of rock. Now, a masterpiece this huge and honestly this fragile needs another kind of devotion to survive, right? It needs the devotion of the people who protect it. And the story of Maijishan is a long one. We're talking over 1,600 years. It kicked off around the 4th century, really hit its stride during the Northern Wei dynasty, and just kept growing for centuries. Fast forward to 2014, and it finally got the global recognition it deserves as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And today, the work goes on, with scientists and conservationists using all kinds of modern tech to protect this ancient wonder. So from the very first monks and artisans who carved these caves, all the way to the researchers and caretakers of today, this has been a story of non-stop human effort. It's a legacy that's been passed down through generations, all for one reason: to make sure this incredible art and the gentle wisdom inside it survives. And that really leaves us with one final thought. That gentle, compassionate smile carved into the side of a mountain has survived for 1,600 years. It's seen empires rise and fall, dynasties come and go. When you look at it now, what do you think it can teach us? About art, about faith, about what it means to be human?